So recently we took a trip and we had to pull winch line quite a bit. That has left the spool in the front of the winch pretty loose, and you don't want to leave that loose. You don't want to use a winch that has a loose spool. That's how stuff slips, and it doesn't keep proper tension on the line. So what we're going to do is use the Jeep's own weight and pull it towards the truck while I stand in front and guide the winch cable so it spools up correctly. I need a volunteer for that, and I'm gonna go find one. Here is what I'm talking about. See how loose that is under there? It's not properly spooled up. It's just kind of everywhere, which is fine if you're using it on the trail. But when you get back home and you have time and a nice safe place to do this, you need to reset this spool and spool it up correctly. A loose spool like this will not pull like it should. It won't hold the weight that it should. The power of the winch isn't necessarily all in the gearing. It's in how it's spooled and how tight the spool is. So you want to make sure you keep this as tight as possible and reset it when you get a chance to do so. Now, I don't want to hook the winch line directly to my truck. I just don't have a safe enough way to do it. So I'm going to use a strap, and this particular strap is fairly new, or at least it hasn't been used. It's several years old, but I've never had to use it. So we're going to hook that with a shackle, straight line, all the way, and at the other end of it we're going to put another shackle, and that's where we're going to hook the winch line. Now, I may not have enough space, so I may end up having to use a snatch block there and hooking it back to the Jeep, but either way, the end goal is to keep tension on the winch line as we're reeling it in, and guide it appropriately so it stacks up on the spool. And I'm going to have Carola sitting in the Jeep just in case something goes sideways. She can hit the brakes so it doesn't roll down the hill into my neighbor's truck. You want to back off your shackles. Once they tighten up, back it off a quarter to a half turn, because this is going to roll and tighten up, and you don't want this to seize on you. We've got our strap set up with a shackle at the end of it, and now I'm going to start wheeling out some winch line. Like I said, I may not have enough room, so a snatch block is probably going to be used, but we'll see. I'm messing with steel cable, so you want gloves. A good set of gloves. This stuff will get you. I have had steel splinters before, and I do not recommend it at all. So let me get set up, and I'll show you what the whole thing looks like. Alright, so what you can see here is we have stacked our coils nice and neat. And they're all under a bit of compression from the weight of the Jeep as we pulled it forward. That's what you want when you're heading out on the trail. Now, obviously this is going to be difficult to do on the trail, but ideally when you get to a spot where you can reset this is what you want to do. This is going to give you the most amount of pulling power out of your winch.